you're giving something back to the community that's actually of value to them and inspires them to get better at what they do as well. My name's Antony Scholtmeyer. I'm the executive chef of Capella Bangkok. I love creating dishes, menus. At the moment we do a lot of very special lunches for some regular guests in the hotel who give me a lot of really interesting challenges, and so I create menus based around those challenges, utilise a lot of really good quality ingredients and ideas. I became a chef mostly out of necessity. My father had a restaurant in Melbourne in Australia. During that period we were moving out into the countryside and it was hard to get into a school and so then my mother and father asked me if I wanted to be a chef. It didn't take very long to make the decision because I always liked working, and that's how I became a chef. My mum, she was vegetarian, and so she grew a lot of the vegetables that we ate herself, and so it's something that I've always really enjoyed, and the difference in the flavour and the freshness, the quality of the ingredients is really quite amazing compared to what you're buying from the markets. We have a really beautiful garden here which is purely organic, and so we always like to feature all the different herbs and things that we grow in here in those menus as well. Our herb garden, which we call the greenhouse, we also call it the chef's garden, it's purely organic, so everything that we grow here is done organically. We treat the soil with rice husks, with coconut husks to help lighten up the soil and give nutrients into the soil before we plant anything. So it normally takes at least 1 to 2 weeks of preparing the soil before we actually plant anything. If we used chemical fertilizers, you could plant straight away, but we don't do that. We do it in a more sustainable way. With the microgreens, what we really liked about that, and a terrific idea, is that everything about it is sustainable. You know, the containers that we grow them in is really cool, being made from coconut husk, and that there's no plastic involved. With the product itself, it's very good, very flavoursome. It doesn't take very long to grow, which is great, and we really do have a lot of variety in there as well.
เห็นมาก็คือเชฟแบบมีไมโครกรีนที่แบบเล็กๆมาให้แล้วก็เอามาให้พวกหนูแบบเอาไปตากแดดอะไรอย่างเงี้ยหนูแบบอะไรอ่ะอันนี้คืออะไรแล้วแบบทำไมเชฟต้องเอามาให้พวกหนูด้วยอย่างเงี้ยให้พวกหนูลองเลี้ยงดูว่ามันจะแบบเป็นยังไงต่อเข้าไปปลูกได้เข้ามาปลูกได้มาสัมผัสดูว่ามันก็แบบว่ามันสวยอ่ะมันสวยทำอะไรมันก็แบบดูดีเอาไปแต่งในจานมันก็ดูแต่งง่ายขึ้นอะค่ะแบบดูแบบว่ามันทำให้ดูแบบมีค่าขึ้นจานนั้นมีค่าขึ้นการที่แบบได้ปลูกเองอะมันรู้สึกถึงการที่แบบทำตั้งแต่แรกเลยอะค่ะแบบทำตั้งแต่แรกมาแล้วเราก็ทำสำเร็จด้วยตัวเองภูมิใจมากๆเลยค่ะภูมิใจที่ได้เห็นว่ามันอยู่ในจานนั้นแล้วมันได้มาแต่งในจานนั้นแล้วมันสวยมากๆเลยค่ะ
It's also a really nice thing that we show to the guests as well, and so every week we bring them up here, we let the guests pick the different herbs and things like that from the garden as well, and then we let them taste it in some different types of canapes. So if they put one flavoured herb on top of a canapé, it gives a really beautiful flavour. If they put a different flavoured herb on the same canapé, they can taste the difference that it produces. So it's really nice. So for us to be able to give that quality and that experience to our guests is really important, and it helps to go back into that sustainability part of how we operate our kitchens as well. When we are ordering from the local suppliers that we use in the hotel, we either make in the hotel or is produced in Thailand. And so the really important thing about that is that you're giving something back to the community that's actually of value to them, and inspires them to get better at what they do as well. And this has always been the goal that we've had by ordering all these really beautiful ingredients and produce from the farmers and from the makers, and to be a part of that, we're really quite proud of. A sustainable kitchen is, I think, something that relies mostly on ingredients that is grown in a close proximity to the restaurant. Uses organic, free range, and it really, it's not just about the types of ingredients and dishes you serve on the menu, but it's also how you handle your waste afterwards. We do a lot of recycling in the hotel. We send all of our food scraps, gets recycled. All of our paper, plastic, all these things go to recyclers as well. And so this is a really big part of being sustainable, because it's taking care of the environment. The simple things of cleaning chemicals and that sort of thing, what you use and whether they're biodegradable as well. And so we focus on that as well. It's a never-ending mission. As I said before, it's about how we try and reduce the waste that leaves the hotel. The amount of landfill that comes from hotels in Bangkok is huge. It's really quite scary, and if we can reduce that, then that's already a really big step. What you're finding in Thailand these days is that sustainability, organically produced, is becoming more and more relevant than what it was in the past. And to be a part of that, helping the farmers and the suppliers develop their range of products is also really important, because it's at the end of the day, it's just going to make everything better for everybody.